If someone told you that ordinary people can achieve financial freedom in 5到10 years instead of 40比50 years and retire completely, would you think they were joking? But this really isn't a fantasy. Because the author of the classic book we're delving into today, The Millionaire Fastlane, M.J. DeMarco, did exactly that. He was once like most people, working low-level jobs, believing hard work would lead to wealth, but reality repeatedly hit him hard until he discovered some unconventional secrets about wealth. For example, the snowball effect of compound interest is actually the biggest lie. Follow your passion is likely a trap. The essence of a 9to5 job is selling your life. It was with these rebellious ideas that author DeMarco achieved complete financial freedom in his 30秒. So this is 注定 not a video for casual entertainment. It requires your full concentration and even readiness to take notes. Next, we will present the essence of the Millionaire Fastlane as thoroughly and unreservedly as possible. If you're tired of those and want to know what wealth secrets are circulating among the rich, then let's begin our journey of mental 重塑 today. To begin this journey of mental 重塑, the first thing we must do is clearly see where we currently stand. It's like trying to get to a treasure island with the wrong map in hand. No matter how good your boat is, or how hard you row, you'll only get further from the treasure. Author DeMarco tells us that each of us, in the pursuit of wealth, is standing at a huge three-way crossroads. The path you're currently on determines the scenery you'll ultimately see. Now, let's clearly see the true nature of these three paths. The first path is the sidewalk. This path is essentially a one-way street to poverty. People on this path are typical believers in life for today. Their world is only about today's pleasures, with no plans for tomorrow. What is their wealth formula? Wealth 等于 income 加 debt. As soon as the paycheck arrives, it immediately turns into the latest smartphone, designer clothes, an impulsive trip. When income isn't enough to support desires, credit cards and various loans become their extra income. You might think, aren't these just the paycheck-to-paycheck crowd? But the author reminds us the sidewalk isn't about being rich or poor. A middle-class white-collar worker drowning in debt due to uncontrolled spending is on the sidewalk. Similarly, a sports star with a multi-million-dollar annual salary or an actor who just got a huge paycheck, if they spend more than they earn, buying mansions today, throwing parties tomorrow, once their high-income source dries up, their wealth illusion will burst like a bubble, instantly declaring bankruptcy. This lack of financial discipline, treating money as a toy, no matter how high the income, is essentially running naked on the sidewalk. The destination is only one: poverty. Of course, most of us are responsible individuals. We walk the second path, the one officially and solely recommended by society, the slow lane. This road is smooth and straight, with clear signs and definite traffic rules. A guidebook we've heard since childhood. Even can recite backwards. Go to school well, get good grades, find a good job after graduation, then be thrifty and manage household. Live within your means, save 10% of your salary. Invest, use coupons. Don't buy expensive lattes. And then one day in the future, when you're 65 years old, you can live a stable retired life. Doesn't that sound foolproof? But as we said at the beginning, This is the biggest lie. Why? First, its destination is the biggest mockery of you. The author calls it wheelchair wealth. Think about it. You use the most precious 40 years of your life when you can run, jump, stay up late, sacrificing all your dreams and passions. What do you get in return? You get some extra numbers in your bank account when you're old and frail. Maybe can't even chew hard food. You finally have money. But your life is almost over. Is this still really worth it? Second, the journey itself is an extremely unequal trade of life. The author did the math. Your weekly road condition is 5 days tightly bound by work, only to get 8 days of freedom on the weekend. You trade 5 days of unfreedom for 8 days of freedom. This is a deal with a -60% return rate. A terrible transaction we willingly make for half a lifetime. We actually do it willingly for half a lifetime. You think you're paying for weekend happiness, but actually you're paying a premium for the pain from Monday to Friday. Your child's first steps, first words mama or dada, might happen on a Tuesday afternoon while you're trapped in the office. And you missed it all. Third, and most 致命. On this path, you are not the driver. You think you're driving, but actually you're just a passenger. The steering wheel is in the hands of your boss, your company, and the overall economic environment. This seemingly safe slow lane is actually full of huge risks you simply cannot control. The author lists several of its deadly risks in the book, like health risk. You bet your life healthily until retirement. Job risk. You bet you won't be laid off in your lifetime. Company won't go bust. Housing risk. You bet your house will always be a prime asset. And economic risk. You bet your pitiful 8% annual return won't be wiped out by a sudden stock market crash. With so many hopes and bets, your financial plan is actually fragile and 不堪一击. So the destination of the slow lane isn't true wealth, but mediocrity. It can keep you alive, but can't ensure you live 精彩. So, is there a third path? Of course there is. It's a hidden shortcut not marked on the map. It's called the fast lane. Those who choose this path are a completely different species. They are not content with just being a driver or passenger. They are the car builders. Their life goal isn't to drive hard to earn money, but to work tirelessly to build a self-driving supercar. This self-driving system is your business, your enterprise. Initially, you might need to spend a few years working tirelessly in the garage, tinkering, researching, assembling. This process is extremely arduous, even more tiring than 搬砖 on the slow lane. But once you build this car, it can hit the road by itself, making money for you 24%. Whether you're with family or sunbathing on the beach, your vehicle is conquering territory for you. You exchange a few years of focused effort for decades of complete freedom. The Fastlane wealth formula is wealth 等于 net profit 加 asset value. This formula completely unbundles time and money. Its variables, like how many people you can sell your product to, for how much, are controllable by you and have nearly unlimited potential. The Fastlane's goal is to let you drive your own built supercar to travel the world while you're still young, healthy, and full of passion. Its destination is true wealth, simultaneously having both time and money. Okay, now 3 clear life paths are laid out before you. The sidewalk to poverty, the slow lane to mediocrity, and the fast lane to wealth. Now, please ask yourself honestly, which path are you currently on? And which destination do you truly want to reach? I believe the engine within you,渴望 for freedom, has been ignited by the fast lane. But to turn from the slow lane onto this shortcut, you can't use that old clunker. You need to start with a top-tier upgrade for your mindset. In the next part, we'll uncover this secret, talk about that essential and the most important mental revolution required to get on the fast lane, the shift from a passive passenger to a bold builder. In the previous part, we discussed to turn from the crowded slow lane onto the wealth fast lane that can let you retire 40 years early. You need an entry code. This code isn't some mysterious investment tip, nor a genius business idea, but a complete and thorough mental revolution happening deep within your brain. This revolution is completing a 阵营叛逃 from consumer to producer. This might sound a bit abstract. What is a consumer mindset? And what is a producer mindset? Most of us are born with the default consumer operating system installed. This system's core command is to acquire. Our eyes are like radar, always scanning for what can I get. We open our phones, thinking what entertainment can I get from these apps. Walk into a mall, thinking what can I buy to satisfy my desires. Find a job, thinking how much salary can I get from the company. In this system, we are passive, waiting to be satisfied. We are always paying for the value created by others. Producers, their brain OS is a completely different version. This system's core command is to create. Their eyes don't see themselves, but the world. They are always asking, what does the world need? What are people complaining about? What value can I create to solve these problems? So the shift from consumer to producer mindset is essentially a shift in focus. From inward 索取 to outward creation, from caring about what I want to caring about what others need. So how exactly do you complete this brain system reinstallation? Step 1. You need to start dissecting all business activities around you like a business detective. You can no longer live 浑浑噩噩 like an ordinary person. When you see an advertisement that moves you, your first reaction shouldn't be, should I buy it? But why did it move me? What marketing 技巧 did it use? Who is its target audience? When you're using an addictive app, your first reaction shouldn't be 沉迷其中. But step back and analyze, what core problem does its function solve? What is its profit model? If I were to do it, how could I do it better than them? When you start thinking like this, you transform from an actor in the play to a spectator, even a director preparing to stage your own play. You are no longer manipulated by the business world. You begin to 洞察 its underlying operating laws. Step 2. Train yourself to 嗅到金钱的味道 in all complaints and problems. The author tells us that fastlane opportunities are never born in fancy business forums, but in the most mundane details of life. People's complaints are money calling out to you. This awful weather. The delivery took over an hour and still isn't here. Hidden here is the opportunity for instant delivery and better logistics. Finding a moving company every time I move is like opening a blind box. It's terrible. Hidden here is the opportunity for branded moving services. I hate current smartphones. They need charging several times a day. This is the huge 诱因 that gave birth to power banks and shared charging services. A qualified producer is a professional problem solver. The bigger the problem you solve, the wider the audience you serve, the more wealth you have. Step 3. And the most crucial one. You must completely change your view on work and business. Consumers and those on the slow lane understand a career as finding a job. The essence being selling one's own time. Producers understand a career as building a system. This system is the true essence of the fast lane. It is a money tree that can create value and income for you independently of your time, your online store, the software you develop, the shared charging network you establish, the copyright for the novel you wrote. All these are your systems. You invest a lot of time and energy upfront not to want your one-time salary, but to build this system. Once the system is built, it can work for you 24/7. And you can then extract yourself from it, gaining complete freedom. This is why the Fastlane Wealth Formula, Wealth 等于 Net Profit 加 Asset Value, is so powerful. Because a producer's income is no longer limited by their personal time, but by the efficiency and scale of the system they build. And both of these have almost unlimited potential for improvement. Okay, now you have mastered the Fastlane entry code. You've completed the mindset switch from consumer to producer. You understand, your goal is no longer to find a good job, but to create a valuable system that solves other people's problems. But a deeper question arises, are all problems worth solving? Will every system created put you on the fast lane? Even when solving problems, why do some businesses only bring modest wealth, while others create billions? Behind this lies an ultimate law governing the flow of all wealth. In the next part, we will unveil the mysterious veil of this law together. In the previous part, we completed the most crucial mindset shift, from a passive consumer to an active producer. We also understood that to get on the fast lane, you can't think about what should I buy, but need to start thinking what can I create. So $1 million question arises, what exactly should I create? Can just any car I build race down the wealth track? Can solving just any problem earn me $1 Of course not. Before we delve into specific methods, we must first understand an ultimate law that governs the flow of all wealth. You might have heard some mystical claims, like the law of attraction telling you that just by sitting at home visualizing, imagining yourself getting rich, the universe will send you money. Author DeMarco scoffs at this notion. He thinks it's just old wine in a new bottle, a spiritual yapian for those too lazy to take action. He gives an analogy. You can't bake a cake just by thinking about it. Wealth is never created by thinking alone. He wants to reveal a more real and also more brutal universal law, 100% driven by mathematics, not by your thoughts. This is the essence of the fast lane. All self-made wealthy people, whether they realize it or not, follow this law. It is the law of affection. The content of this law is simple, just one sentence. The more people you impact in an entity, whether through scale or magnitude, the more wealth you will acquire. Put more bluntly, impact millions, earn millions. The balance in your bank account is actually a mirror, reflecting how much value you have created for the world. How many people's problems have you solved? If your job today only impacts your boss and 2 or 3 colleagues, then your income will likely remain at that level. So how exactly do you impact millions? The law of affection points us to 2 clear, quantifiable paths. They 正好对应 the two core variables in the Fastlane wealth formula we mentioned earlier. The first path is called scale. Scale means using a relatively small value to impact a massive number of people. This corresponds to the units sold variable in our wealth formula. For example, you develop a mobile app. Its function is simple, like photo beautification, priced at 6 美元. This app itself doesn't have a huge impact on a single user's life. It's small magnitude, but if 1 million people download your app, you instantly make 6 美元 million. You achieved explosive wealth growth through massive scale. Another example, an influencer sells a lipstick with only a 10 美元 profit margin. If they can sell it to 10万 people, their income is 1 美元 million. A funny short video you post gets tens of millions of views. The ad revenue you earn is also a manifestation of scale. You don't need to provide earth-shattering value, but you need a channel and system that can reach a massive audience. The second path is called magnitude. Magnitude is the opposite. It uses an extremely high value to impact a small number of people. This corresponds to the unit profit variable in our wealth formula. The author clearly states in the book, high value 等于 high price 等于 high magnitude 等于 high magnitude. For instance, you are a top architect. You spend a year designing and building a 50 美元 million super mansion. You successfully sell it to one wealthy individual. You served only one client. But because the value magnitude you provided is extremely high, you can still earn massive wealth. Or, you open a high-end private hospital, specializing in health management services for a few top clients at an annual fee of 1 美元 million each. You might only need to serve a few dozen clients to become a multimillionaire. Or you are a top M lawyer, helping a company complete a multi-billion-dollar acquisition. Your legal fee could be several $million. This is also the power of magnitude, so you see, the logic of wealth is actually very fair. Either find a way to serve enough people, or find a way to provide 足够高的 value for a few people. If you can combine scale and magnitude, like Apple does, selling billions of phones, massive scale, and each phone provides high value, massive magnitude, then you create not millions in wealth, but trillions. This law of affection is absolute. It applies to all wealthy people, whether they are on the fast lane or the slow lane. For example, a professional basketball star, he's on the slow lane, right, selling his time playing ball. Why can't he get a contract worth hundreds of millions? Because through his games, he provides entertainment value to millions, even tens of millions of fans. He is impacting the world through massive scale. A top surgeon might not serve a huge number of patients in his lifetime, but he saves lives. This is the highest magnitude, so he can also acquire millions in wealth. Even a sports star's agent, he doesn't play ball himself, but he serves the star who impacts millions. He indirectly taps into that influence, so he can also become wealthy. Okay, now you have mastered the most fundamental physical law of the wealth world, the law of affection. Your task becomes very clear. As a producer, your goal is to create a system that can serve millions, scaled system, or to build a system that provides ultra-high value magnitude system. So the question arises again, how do I know if the idea in my head has the potential to serve millions? How can I ensure the business I'm building meets the requirements of the law of affection, and isn't just another small-time endeavor splashing in a small pond? It's certainly not by feeling. The author tells us that from the day a business is born, whether its genes carry Fastlane attributes, can be verified by several very clear, ironclad rules. In the next part, we will deeply study this Fastlane system blueprint, revealing the crucial 5 commandments for you, hand in hand teaching you how to build your own money-making machine. In the previous part, we discussed the ultimate code of wealth, the law of affection. Either serve enough people scale, or provide 足够高的 value for a few people magnitude. Your mind might already be bubbling with various business ideas. But the million-dollar question is, how do I know if my idea is a broad road to wealth, or just another dead end that will drain my energy? Don't worry, author DeMarco has prepared a Fastlane business feasibility detection system for us. It's like a medical checkup form containing 5 key indicators. Any business idea must pass the strict test of these 5 commandments to have the potential to become a true money printing machine for you. These 5 commandments are the system blueprint for a Fastlane business. The first commandment, and the most important one, is the commandment of need. The author says in the book that 90% of new businesses fail within 5 years. Do you know why? Not because the founders weren't hardworking enough, nor because of bad luck. The fundamental reason is 1. They violated the commandment of need. The content of this commandment is simple. Your business must be built on fulfilling a genuine societal need, not on your personal hobby or wishful thinking. Too many of us start businesses for the wrong reasons. For example, you really like fitness, so you say I'll open a gym. You really like baking cakes, so you say I'll open a bakery. This kind of because I like it, so I'll do it thinking. The author calls a selfish motive. It's the number 1 killer of startups. Why? Because the world doesn't care what you like. Consumers only care what's in it for me. They pay money to solve their own problems, not to fulfill your dreams. So, to get on the fast lane, the first thing is to forget yourself. Stop chasing money, and stop chasing your hobbies. Chase needs. Look for unsolved problems, unmet pain points. Listen to what people are complaining about. The second commandment is the commandment of entry. This commandment says that the lower the barrier to entry in an industry, the more intense the competition on that path, and the harder it is to make money. In other words, if a business only requires filling out a form for a few $100 and 10分钟 used to start, then that road is basically blocked. Why? Because if you can do it, it means millions of others can do it too. Like the trend a few years ago of opening a store on a certain e-commerce platform, or becoming some kind of agent. Sounds low barrier, right? Result: millions crowded in, only to find everyone was engaged in price wars. Except for the platform itself, nobody made serious money. The author calls this phenomenon the everyone is doing it trap. When your plumber, your barber are all talking about investing in something, that's a dangerous signal. It means the road is already jam-packed. The real fast lane often has certain barriers. It requires specialized knowledge, skills, or capital. It keeps the majority of bandwagoners out. Your job isn't to go gold mining, but to sell shovels, not to climb the pyramid, but to build that pyramid. The third commandment is the commandment of control. This commandment asks you a question. On this wealth journey, are you truly the driver, or just a hitchhiker who could be thrown off at any moment? What does that mean? You must have absolute control over your business. If you join a network marketing company, the products you sell, your pricing, your marketing rules are all decided by someone else, then you are not the driver. You are just a passenger on someone else's Fastlane vehicle. The driver can change the rules anytime, or even hit the brakes and stop the entire project. When that happens, all your efforts instantly reset to zero. The author sharply points out that most so-called franchises and agencies are not true Fastlane businesses. Because you lack control. The real Fastlane player is the one who creates the brand and sells the franchise rights. The one who sets the game rules, making thousands of people sell his products for him. You need to be the shark at the top of the food chain, not the guppy in the pond waiting to be eaten. The fourth commandment is the commandment of scale. This commandment says your business must have the potential to impact thousands, even millions of people. Is your business fishing in a small community pond, or whaling in the global ocean? If you open a sandwich shop on the street corner, what's the maximum number of sandwiches you can sell in a day? 100, 200. Your customer base is limited to neighbors within a few kilometers. Your sales volume and unit profit have a very low ceiling. This determines that this business can only give you a decent living, but can never make you financially free. This is a business that can only hit singles. A true Fastlane business is one that can hit home runs. You either, like an internet company, can sell your product to billions worldwide massive scale, achieving massive scale, or, like a high-end luxury brand, sell a product for a sky-high price, massive magnitude. In short, your battlefield must be large enough. Your potential must be high enough. The fifth commandment, and the final one, is the commandment of time. This commandment hits the nail on the head. Can your business ultimately operate without your direct involvement? Achieving automated operation. Many people start businesses only to create a super job for themselves. They open a coffee shop and end up busy from opening to closing, more tired than when employed, having no time for themselves at all. Even if such a business can make money, it violates the commandment of time because it doesn't free you from the time for money trade. A true Fastlane business must be a money tree that can grow. Its goal is to allow you to eventually extract yourself from it. The author mentions Wumi O's promising money tree seedlings in the book, Rental Systems. For example, real estate, copyright, computer, software systems, internet apps, content systems, for example, books, courses, distribution systems, for example, franchise networks, and human resource systems. Your business must be one of these five, or able to 嫁接 onto these five systems, to potentially give you both time and financial freedom. Okay, these are the 5 commandments of the Fastlane: need, entry, control, scale, and time. They act like a precise filter, helping you screen out those seemingly good, but actually trap-filled pseudo-opportunities, finding the true golden path to wealth. Now you have this system blueprint. But we all know, even the best blueprint needs a skilled craftsman to turn it into reality. The best supercar needs a driver who knows how to 驾驭 it. So, what kind of person must one become to build and drive this wealth Fastlane vehicle? In the next part, we will turn our gaze from the vehicle to the person, talk about that most valuable asset you possess, and how to firmly grasp your own life's steering wheel. In the previous part, we learned the 5 commandments necessary for building a wealth money printing machine. You now hold a top-tier system blueprint. But we all understand a principle: the best blueprint, if given to a lazy craftsman, will just be a pile of waste paper. The author tells us that in the toolbox for acquiring wealth, the most important tool is nothing else but yourself. So, how does a qualified Fastlane driver need to equip themselves? First, you must firmly grasp your life's steering wheel, which is your power of choice. The author presents a very sharp view in the book. The root of poverty isn't lack of money, but poor choices. Your life today, whether good or bad, is the cumulative result of thousands of choices you made in the past. More可怕的是, some choices, which the author calls unscripted choices, have a 毁灭性的 impact on life. Like drunk driving, an irrational huge investment, or choosing an unreliable partner. These choices are like jerking the steering wheel on the highway. One small mistake can make your life trajectory completely deviate, even causing a crash, with no chance for recovery. Every choice you make is like a stone thrown into a lake, creating a butterfly effect, especially when you are young. A small decision, like choosing to skip class to play games, versus choosing to read a book unrelated to your major in the library, might seem 微不足道 at the time, but after 10 or 20 years of 发酵, it could lead your life to completely different outcomes. The younger you are, the more powerful your choices are. They shape the thickest trunk of your life tree. Second, you must value the most precious fuel in your lifetime more than money. The author shares a phenomenon that shocked him. A fast food restaurant had a promotion where with a coupon you could get a$6fried chicken combo for free. Result, 成千上万的人 were willing to queue for hours just for that $6 free chicken. What does this show? It shows that in most people's minds, their time is cheap, even free. They are willing to waste hours of their life to save a few dollars. But Fastlane drivers have the opposite 价值观. They understand money is abundant, while time is extremely scarce. Money lost can be earned back, but time lost is truly gone. The author compares our life to a fuel tank. From the moment of birth, the tank is full, but there are no gas stations after that. Everything you do consumes this limited fuel. He also divides time into two types: discretionary time. You can do anything you want freely, and constrained time, the time you must 付出 to make money. Like commuting to work, Slowlane life is constantly trading constrained time for a little bit of 可怜的自由 time. The Fastlane's goal is to eliminate constrained time completely by establishing systems, making your life 100% self-directed. And the chief culprit 吞噬 our free time is what the author calls parasitic debt. You buy a car beyond your means with installment payments. This debt is like a parasite, firmly attached to you, forcing you to work, transforming your precious free time bit by bit into constrained time used to pay off debt. So from now on, cherish your time as you cherish your life. Finally, you must continuously change the oil for your wealth engine, which is continuous learning and self-education. The author uses a great metaphor. Education is the oil for your wealth engine. Dirty oil will cause your engine to wear, overheat, and eventually break down mid-journey. Many think education ends with college graduation. The author says wrong. Graduation is when your real education begins. But Fastlane learning is completely different from Slowlane learning. Slowlane people learn to get a certificate, improve their qualifications, to get a slightly higher salary in a company. They want to turn themselves into a more valuable cog. Fastlane drivers learn for only one purpose: to better build and operate their wealth system. You're not trying to become the screw on the wheel. You're learning how to manufacture the entire wheel. The author advocates a concept called University of Life. You can use all wasted time to learn. Listen to audiobooks during your commute. That's University of Driving. Watch industry analysis while running at the gym. That's University of Exercise. Read a book while waiting in line. That's University of Waiting. You can even learn something new in the restroom. That's University of Bathroom. Knowledge is free. Libraries, the internet, various forums are your free universities. The only thing you need to do is turn off those 无聊的娱乐 programs and invest time in honing yourself. Okay, now you understand. To get on the fast lane, you not only need the right blueprint, but also need to become a qualified driver worthy of this supercar. You need to reclaim your power of choice, cherish time as you cherish life, and never stop learning. When you hone your own engine to its best state, firmly grasp the steering wheel, and fill the tank with the most precious fuel, a new question arises: which road should I drive on? Where in the world are those broad roads that can make me rich quickly hidden? In the next part, we will 化身 wealth hunters, learning how to find the golden paths belonging to you in this seemingly ordinary world. In the previous part, we have armed ourselves as qualified fastlane drivers. We reclaimed our life's power of choice, see time as the most precious fuel, and promised to continuously change the oil for our wealth engine. Through continuous learning, now it can be said that everything is ready. We only lack one thing: a true golden path leading to wealth. You look around and might feel 迷茫. All industries seem crowded with people. All good ideas seem to have been done by others. Where should I even start? Don't worry, author DeMarco tells us that real opportunities are never some 惊天动地的新大陆. They are hidden in our daily complaints and inconveniences. In this part, we will 化身 wealth hunters, learning how to find the golden paths belonging to you in this seemingly ordinary world. First, we must break the biggest mental 枷锁 that you always feel you need a genius level, unprecedented, brilliant idea. This is the biggest misconception. Successful businesses rarely come from 全新的想法. 相反, they come from better execution of an existing idea. Haven't you often had this experience? A good idea pops into your head. You search online, sigh and say, someone's already doing it. Then you throw the idea in the trash. The author says this thinking has probably cost you billions. Someone is already doing it. It's not an obstacle at all. It's actually an excellent signal. It proves there is market demand in this direction. Your task isn't to 另辟蹊径, but to ask yourself a more important question: can I do it better than them? Let's look at a few examples. Before Google appeared, there were already many search engines like Yahoo. But Google's founders thought, can we make it much faster, much more accurate than them? Result, Google became today's 霸主. Before Starbucks appeared, humans had been drinking coffee for thousands of years. But Howard Schultz thought, can I turn the coffee shop into a third place besides home and office? Providing a 全新的体验. Result, Starbucks redefined the coffee. Before McDonald's appeared, Americans had been eating burgers for decades. But Ray Kroc didn't think about inventing new food. He thought, can I standardize the burger making process so the taste is equally good in any store worldwide? Result, McDonald's became a global 餐饮帝国. So remember, you don't need a 全新的点子. You just need to find an unmet or poorly met need. And then do it better than everyone else, your way. So where are these hidden needs and opportunities actually located? The author tells us opportunities are hidden in the code we utter daily. If you learn to recognize this code, you can hear wealth passwords others can't. This code usually sounds like this. Code E, I hate. For example, I hate having to queue for so long every time I go to place. What's behind this sentence? People's hatred for inefficient processes. Hidden here is a huge business opportunity for process optimization. Code R, I don't like. For example, I don't like that all smartphones look the same now. It's too boring. What's behind this? People's weariness with homogenized products and their pursuit of individuality. Hidden here are business opportunities for custom personalized themes, differentiated accessories. Code 3, this annoys me. For example, every time I travel and want to iron a shirt, the hotel iron is terribly hard to use. This annoys me. What's behind this? People's pain points with poor product experiences. Hidden here is the business opportunity for portable, efficient, smart ironing devices. Code 4, I wish there was. For example, I wish there was an app that could consolidate all my membership cards, so I only need my phone when going out. See it when people start saying I wish. They've practically handed you the business plan. Code 5, this sucks. When you hear someone complain that a product or service sucks, congratulations, you are hearing the sound of money. Because poor service is the most fertile ground for startup opportunities. All these complaints, inconveniences, pain points are the market waving at you, telling you, hey, there's a problem here, come solve it, and you make money. Your ability to solve problems determines your ability to make money. The author also shares a personal experience. He suffered from canker sores since childhood. Each time it would hurt for 1 or 2 weeks. He thought, then I hate canker sores. The opportunity code appeared. So he started 疯狂地研究各种资料. Discovering that 2 nutritional elements combined might be effective in preventing ulcers. He bought them and tried himself. The result was surprisingly good. He almost didn't get canker sores for 2 years. At that moment, he immediately realized the huge business opportunity was before him. He could develop this exclusive formula into a product to help millions worldwide suffering from canker sores like he did. See, the whole process didn't involve a genius flash of insight. Only deep insight into his own pain points and the 行动力 to solve the problem. So now you know the secret to finding the golden path. It's not sitting there 苦思冥想按惊天动地的创意. It's stepping into life, pricking up your ears to listen to people's complaints, feel their inconveniences. Every unmet need is a wealth path waiting for you to develop. I believe right now, your mind might already be churning with several ideas you've always wanted to吐槽, but never thought could become businesses. But after 99% of people find an opportunity, they fall into the last and biggest trap. This trap is called the perfect plan. They think I need to make a perfect business plan first. I'll start once all conditions are 成熟. In our final part, We'll discuss why the author says you must burn your business plan and start acting immediately, and how to take that most crucial step from 0 to 1. In the previous part, we learned how to be wealth hunters, discovering the golden path to wealth in daily complaints and inconveniences. I believe right now, your mind might be churning with several long-suppressed ideas. Those things you've always wanted to 吐槽, but never thought could become businesses. But right here, at the most crucial doorstep from 0 to 1, 99% of people fall into the last and biggest trap. This trap is called the perfect plan. They think I need to do market research first. Write a 150-page perfect business plan. I'll start once all conditions are 成熟, once all traffic lights turn green. Then I'll depart. But author DeMarco uses a whole chapter to tell us a 颠覆性的 instruction to start. The first step is to burn your business plan. You heard right. Burn it. Because the author believes those thick business plans are mostly just 纸上谈兵. Psychological 安慰剂 you used to 拖延 and 逃避. You spend months 闭门造车 in the office, predicting market and financial conditions for the next 3 years. It makes you feel professional and busy, but actually it's the most inefficient form of self-delusion. Why? Because the market is your only true judge. No matter how floridly you write in the plan, once your product, your idea truly touches real users, you'll discover the market's reaction will smash your 精心制作的 plan to pieces. The author says, almost all successful businesses end up looking vastly different from their initial plans. You must put your idea into the boxing ring of the real world. Get beaten up, test it, and constantly adjust your market feedback. Not hide at home 对着 a 永远正确的 plan 意淫. So if the plan isn't important, what is important? The author provides the core value hierarchy in the Fastlane world. He uses a chess analogy. The idea is just a pawn on the board, while execution is the king that decides the game. Too many of us overvalue our own ideas. I have $1 million idea. I'm just afraid someone will steal it. The author says this thinking is 可笑. In this world, ideas are the cheapest thing. The idea you thought of, likely hundreds of others have already thought of it. The key to success is never about who thinks of it first, but about who builds it first. The author even gives a 残酷的计算公式, a brilliant idea with zero execution has a total value of 0, while a mediocre idea, paired with top-tier execution, can create hundreds of millions in value. An idea just gives you a potential speed, making you feel this car can go 350千米每小时. But execution is the force with which you actually press the accelerator, determining how fast and how far you can go. At this point, many might say, but I have no startup capital. Without a 漂亮的商业计划书, how can I get investment? This is another huge misconception. The author points out 一针见血. Angel investors never invest in business plans. They only invest in people with a good execution track record. If you have an idea, instead of spending time writing a 90-page PPT, take action and build a most rudimentary prototype. Acquire your first users. Get your first real market feedback. When you approach an investor with a 粗糙 product that already has users versus someone with a 漂亮的空壳计划书, Guess who gets the money? Your past execution is your best business
Your
plan.
过往的
执行力 is your best business plan. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for someday. Stop waiting for next year. And definitely don't wait until after retirement. The author repeatedly warns in the book, the demon called I'll do it someday is the biggest dream killer. The perfect timing will never come. Waiting will only make you miss opportunity after opportunity, eventually turning your dreams into a regret on a tombstone. Okay, that concludes our sharing of the Millionaire Fastlane. If you feel today's interpretation video left you wanting more, I strongly recommend you read the original book. I believe when you close the book, the way you view the world will be completely different. Wishing you 早日踏上属于自己的财富快车道 soon.